Let's get you caught up on everything we know about the latest Trump assassination attempt. A Secret Service agent ahead of former President Donald Trump on the golf course yesterday, where Trump was playing a round of golf, spotted a rifle barrel sticking out of a fence. That's according to Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw. The agent immediately engaged with that person, who then took off. Here is Sheriff Bradshaw explaining how they caught the gunman.
Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan, and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag, which was great. So we had that information. Our real-time crime center put it out to the license plate readers, and we were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy.
The suspect is 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Ruth. Looks like back in 2016, he was a supporter of Trump, became disillusioned with Trump in recent years, is especially passionate about the Ukraine issue. He has donated to Democrats. He has shown his support for Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. He's reiterated rhetoric about saving democracy that we've heard from President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. He also recently seemed to be rooting for a potential Nikki Haley-Vivek Ramaswamy ticket. So a little all over the place. This is what Sheriff Bradshaw said was found in the bushes.
In the bushes where this guy was is a AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro, which he was going to take pictures of.
And here he discussed Secret Service and their handling of the incident.
The Secret Service agent that was on the course did a fantastic job. What they do is they have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off.
And here Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw talked about how far from the former president the shooter was.
How far away was Donald Trump when this gentleman was caught and stopped?
I got it. Okay. Probably between 300 and 500 yards. But with a rifle and a scope like that, that's not a long distance.
And finally, here is an explanation as to how the gunman was able to hide where he was.
You got to understand the golf course is surrounded by shrubbery. So when somebody gets into the shrubbery, they're pretty much out of sight. All right. And at this level that he is at right now, he's not the sitting president. If he was, we would have had this entire golf course around it. But because he's not, the security is limited to the areas that the Secret Service deems possible. So I would imagine that the next time he comes to the golf course, there'll probably be a little bit more people around the perimeter. But the Secret Service did exactly what they should have done. They provided exactly what the protection should have been, and their agent did a fantastic job.
So that is certainly going to be one of the questions. While everything worked well in terms of the Secret Service agent who was looking ahead at the holes that Trump was about to play, they spotted the gunman and were able to fire shots in his direction, get him to leave the scene. Then you had a witness who took down the vehicle he was fleeing in and the license plate. That information was passed along to law enforcement, who was able to apprehend the suspect. While all of that worked well, there are questions about, was there enough security surrounding former President Donald Trump, especially after the first assassination attempt in Pennsylvania? Also, how did the gunman know that he was going to be there? This wasn't something that was public. This was, in fact, like a kind of a last-minute deal, him playing golf yesterday, although he frequently plays golf.
Right, yeah, Sunday afternoon, and as we heard earlier, his plane was there, so people can see that.
Right, so did he just take a guess? How long was he camped out there? Lots of questions. And then, of course, the motivation for doing this. Now, I tend to think, first of all, we have a suspect who's alive, so that's going to help with the investigation. He has said a lot. He's very vocal about his opinions, even if they seem a little crazy when you go and read what he's posted on social media. I think he's going to talk. And the question then becomes whether or not what he's saying makes any sense to all of us. So we'll see. There was a neighbor who lived next door to him in Greensboro, North Carolina. She spoke on the condition of anonymity. She said she has known Ruth for nearly 2 decades. She said he's unusual, but would have never thought he would be involved in something like this. So you've got that statement from the neighbor, the son saying that he didn't like Trump, his father, but that he wasn't a violent person, even though he has an extensive criminal history. So again, while we know a lot more now than we did, a lot more is confirmed now than we knew in the immediate aftermath of this incident yesterday. There's still a lot of questions that need to be answered.